Damn, Eric, those are some nice slippers. No, they're not. We're back.
Back at it again with the hats.
We're back for another stunning round of Animaybe, hoping this time to make a show that's both good and fun to talk about. We didn't have Ray back because it's nighttime, and the sun's rays are not upon us anymore.
Eric, how are you doing?
I'm feeling fat and sassy.
Anyways, Eric, you got the genre hat.
I got the genre hat, and continuing with the pre-agreed upon thing, we're going to pull two genres and use at least one of them. And then we're going to pull, I guess, two cards from that, a third one if we got to. All right, so we have for our first genre, Everyday Life.
Ooh.
This is a DJ card.
I say that's definitely... Oh, did I actually write that one?
I could tell because it's written the dumbest way possible.
Oh, because it's folded.
All right.
My bad.
Oh, and the other one was a wild card.
Ooh. So explain to the audience what a wild card does.
So wild card it's just a wild card. You can fill in the blank yourself. It's like the blank card in Cards Against Humanity. We've been using Cards Against Humanity to explain this game a lot. Probably because you could play this with Cards Against Humanity cards if you wanted to.
Would have been a lot easier, probably.
So we have Everyday Life. I want to put Horror as the other card.
Okay.
So we got Everyday Life and Horror.
And if we combine those, it's just another.
That's got some supernatural elements. Horror could just be like a guy with a gun.
Check the tags on Crunchyroll, mon frere.
Consult the Wikipedia. I'm sorry, the Wikipedia.
Oh god, the Bolopedia.
So now, before you pull those, are we in agreement that we're going to use both, or do you want to make a case for not?
I think before we decide, we have to get all of our cards on the field.
I feel like we did it the other way the other day, but that's fine.
Because I love me some Everyday Life anime.
But you're such a scared baby.
No, I love I'm okay with horror anime as well, but I think depending on what our modifiers are, I think we're gonna be able to make some gold with either one or both.
Okay, well,
all right.
What's the first one you got?
First one I got. Childhood friend has a +1.
Well, okay, draw another one right away.
All right.
Wait, it says childhood friend has a?
Yeah. Gainax ending.
Ooh, we did it!
Oh, is this one of those trap cards?
You know what a Gainax ending is, right?
Yeah. I watched Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Well, there you go. That's that kind of thing is going to happen at the end now. So that one's free.
Okay.
Wait, does that mean that the childhood friend has a Gainax ending?
I kind of like that.
If this is an Everyday Life combined with horror, we've just essentially established how the horror works.
That's true. No, okay.
This is already It Follows.
Damn it, I never saw that.
It's basically these 4 pieces of paper.
Oh. Absurd things are treated as normal.
Oh, that's perfect.
2 of these are mine. Wow. The childhood Hazza is mine, and then this one's mine.
Wait.
I got lucky.
Are you supposed to fill that blank in yourself?
What do you mean? No.
The childhood Hazza?
No, the childhood Hazza was another card that said Gainax ending.
That's fine. I think that we can use all 5 of these cards to make a truly, truly satanic jam.
All right. Oh, and I already put them away, but whatever. We know what we got.
Do we? I left mine out for that specific reason that I feel like we kept forgetting.
Shit.
Last time. No, it's fine. Childhood friend with the Gainax ending, and absurd things are treated as normal. So it sounds like
another.
Sounds like what we've got is psychological horror that's sort of rewriting the perception of reality to where the awful becomes super mundane. But does the main character realize it's horror, or is it horror because only the viewer knows? Is this Hitchcock, or is this Don't Breathe?
Ooh. I think it might be a little more Don't Breathe.
All right. So the cast probably has recognized the fact that this is fucked up. They've got a crayon lodged in their brain, which allows them to tap into the underverse. It's a metaphorical crayon.
I was say, why are you referencing Simpsons?
Just to explain, there's something about the main cast where they've broken out of the Matrix. They know.
Okay, so we have main character.
Main character, Saul Everyman.
With childhood friend Jane or Joe Doe.
I mean, I think childhood friend is universally implied to be
opposite gender.
Yeah, I was gonna say second string love interest. But
Yeah.
that's the same thing.
Yeah. I would say in anime, yes.
Hey, at least we didn't draw a card that said they were related.
Whew.
Shit, did I just put a flag on a landmine? I don't know if you knew that one was in there.
I did not, but they're related. Oh boy. Anyways, we'll get to that one if maybe later.
Someday.
All right, so
do we want the horror to be supernatural or just like really just graphically horrific?
I think there's like enough generic, just like ooh, there's like spooky whatever the fuck's going on. I think if we go full blown Junji Ito, I think that's like more interesting.
So you want it to be weirdly supernatural?
Yeah.
Okay.
God, that is a little bit of Junji, like kind of Junji Ito stories. It's just like where the
look, as long as we don't make that one face, it's not a Junji Ito. That wasn't the one I was talking about, but to the audience who couldn't see that, DJ looked like an idiot.
No, I was making the dad's spiral
Yeah, you were
face.
making the spiral face from, was that chapter 2? Chapter 1?
I think, yeah, chapter 2 Uzumaki from when the dad just turns himself into a
He's
spiral.
like, look what I can do with my tongue.
This is these are visual jokes for an audio medium.
Well, we already described what it is. I could throw it up on screen. We're not gonna, but we could.
Oh, absolutely not.
We didn't have the budget for that. Can't even get a working USB cord.
Sad but true. God.
We could. We just didn't want to go out and get one today. So you do want to do something supernatural with it?
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is, right, there's a killer afoot in town.
Okay.
And he's got some supernatural mumba jumba, but nobody else does. Like, and it's weird in the world. Like, this is a world that is our world, but this is a character that clearly has, like, some fucking shit going on that's not normal.
Okay, so it's kind of like, what was it, like in like the world of Batman, where it's like, oh, Gotham is like literally hell on earth, but people are just like still live in like in this Gotham, and like go around from day to day, because it's like, well, this is how cities work.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, beyond that, this is how cities work, but at the same time, it's like Gotham, but then all of a sudden Clayface shows up. We were like, oh, okay, magic powers are just a thing this guy can do. That's fair.
Yeah.
But everyone else is like, well, this is what hell on earth is like. I guess one man is a shape-changing the blob monster that wants to be a stage performer.
Okay. So
and his powers shouldn't have anything to do with bees.
Or oranges.
Or oranges. I don't want to get shoehorned here. Especially orange bees. You know, those Japanese hornets.
Or robots.
I mean, his power could be like a robot, man. Like he could have...
That's not scary.
You haven't seen the movie Virus.
I haven't.
Yeah, well. Or Black Mirror.
I haven't seen that either.
RoboCop?
I love RoboCop.
The remake?
I like the remake.
Remember that scene where they took all the robot parts off him?
Yeah.
Being a robot can be scary.
That wasn't scary. It's just dumb.
It's called body horror.
Okay, I'll give you that.
It's scary to some people. Not specifically me, not specifically you. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so the killer is like some
sort of power that's not normal.
But it's treated normal by everyone?
Well, it's like if I could make this about Doctor Who for just a second.
Oh boy.
Do you remember what a chameleon circuit is in Doctor Who?
Eric, the only episodes I've ever watched of almost said Dr. Seuss.
That's fine. Let's live that out. The only episode of Dr. Seuss you've ever watched with me. So, basically, part of the power is that the power mentally camouflages to the world around it. So it's only weird if you're looking directly at it. Everyone who's not paying attention, it doesn't look weird or it isn't abnormal.
So like does that include like the results of them using that power? Is just like this person's just turned inside out because sometimes that happens.
Like I think if they found someone turned inside out, they'd be like, "Wow, this is a horrible crime that happened here." But they wouldn't be like, "Well, this was definitely the work of a space gun."
Yeah. Okay, so
or exploding heartworms or something. They would just be like, "Wow, this serial killer really put the time."
Okay. I think that's a nice way of like going around of doing that card.
Okay. We should pick a setting. Do we want to put this in Japan?
I mean, it's anime.
It's anime, so it's got to be in Japan or a fake country that looks like Japan.
And I say there's gonna be sakura trees everywhere.
I mean, it could be in the winter. We're basically combining another and erased.
God,
No, that's
we're just shoehorning everything.
well, it's like I said in the other episode. A big part of pitching something is you have to be like, it's like this, but instead of this, he has a spoon, and when he stabs you with the spoon, your own body scoops itself out through your mouth.
Ew!
That's not what I want the power to be.
I understand that because that's really dumb, but at the same time, it's like,
You're like,
that's kind of fun. That's kind of fun to visualize.
That's a haunting visual. I wish you hadn't said that.
Yeah, it's like, huh.
I guess I won't sleep tonight forever again.
All right, so we have there's a serial killer.
We're saying Japan?
Yeah, it's Japan.
City or rural?
Rural, I think, works better.
Ooh, yeah, that's got that mountain creep of the villain might secretly be a yokai.
Hell yeah.
And the old man who also saw what happened is like, he came from the trees like one of those fucking wind weasels.
They got those in Japan.
They do. I just don't remember what they're called. There's the
Pokemon.
the one Pokemon Mind Shao is based off it, I think.
Oh.
You're like, I don't remember Mind Shao.
I kind of do, but
okay.
I don't care.
Tamari summons one in Naruto.
Which one's Tamari?
The sand girl.
Oh, the sand girl.
We got there. He knows what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Again, this is a specific example. I don't specifically want it to be a wind weasel or a pipe fox.
God, we are so far off point right now.
No, we're not. We're workshopping a villain.
All right. So, we're in rural Japan, and
we're in the countryside.
There's been a serial killer on the loose for how many victims so far?
Let's see. The childhood friend who we have to kill in a fucked up way.
Well, that's probably gonna be like late season, I imagine.
Or their gay next ending is the beginning of the show.
Oh shit!
I don't think that they should be victim one unless we're gonna time skip.
No, I'd say there's probably like three or five like victims by the time of episode 1.
So we're gonna have to add a facet to this show where, at this point, the small rural town has had to have big city police shipped in, and they don't know how the town business goes on. Yeah. This is Twin Peaks now. What we've made.
I am completely 100% down with this. I love it.
I know you're a big Twin Peaks fan, and I haven't watched it, but I can appreciate the sentiment.
I'm a big Peaks head.
Okay, I'd rather play Deadly Premonition than watch Twin Peaks. It's the same story.
Fair enough. I mean, it's very similar.
It's directly stolen from Twin Peaks.
Yes, I say they got the drugs in the gas pipe of the motorcycle still, or the gas tank.
Anyways, so the main character is just it's an anime, so it's got to be some sort of middle school to college. Just starting college age.
I think middle school works better because then they get you get that that aspect of them like walking to school, walking home from school. That you get the everyday with the horror, and then they have to deal with maybe people like the store shop owners while they're walking. Does he
commute to the train to get to the city to go to school, and on the way back he's like, "Well, she didn't meet me at the train station." Then when he gets back to the thing, there's a big kerfuffle in town because they're like, look at this human we found spread across the entire town in different places.
I mean, I think it could be something like that. I don't think that we need to have them take us go to another complete city for school, but
is there a school in the countryside?
They do have those.
Okay.
Oh, look at another. They do that. There's a school in there in that little rural town that they're in.
I don't think that town is all that rural, but all right. Suburbs, maybe.
I mean, the kid moves there from Tokyo to help with his humors.
He sure does.
And then they start doing the boogaloo shrimp in the middle of class.
Anyways, we're trying to not spoil the dance sequences of anime. Remember?
Say nice things about Detroit. The way you left, you were a big jerk.
We've made an amount of progress, but we don't really have the plot yet.
No, okay, so
pick a name. Just pick a name for the main character so we have a name to call him.
Yoshi.
Could you pick any other name?
Mario. No, I don't know. Sato.
Sure, Sato. So Chad.
Yeah.
So our main character, Sato, he's small town. His parents probably run a bakery because that's how it always seems to be.
I say that's the only.
Your dad is a
business.
businessman, or your parents are both bakers.
Yeah. Or they work in a candy shop.
It doesn't matter because they're not in a city, so their parents aren't rich enough to never be home.
Yeah, they're just but they're always in the business. That's
We're just
the thing.
airing grievances on tropes at this point. So he's
I thought
like,
that's what the thesis of the show was.
no, we want to celebrate the ones that are funny
Okay.
or good.
Anyways,
so he's like living in small town, living it up, going to school, pre-college, maybe middle school, maybe high school. It depends how creepy we want to be. There's some undercurrents of, hey, there's been some foul murders afoot. No bird puns. And he's like, yeah, that'll never happen to me. And that's like, yeah, but your childhood friend it'll happen to. Psych!
so wait, so you said that there's already been. Sorry, I'm playing with this thing next to me.
There's already been there's enough murders that it's a serial killer. So
Yeah, there's probably at least 3 victims.
At least 3 victims, not counting the childhood friend who we're saying might die partway through instead.
Yeah, I kind of like either episode 1, episode 2. Childhood friend gets it.
We have
They
they have to be in the show long enough that you care about them, or we have to flashback a bunch. My preference is put it in the middle,
Yeah,
like
so
not
at
in the
5.
first episode. Well, just like not right away. Like let's care before we Diclonius them apart.
Okay.
Is the main character a witness, or is he trying to stop the killings?
I think he's trying to stop the killings because kind of going with what you said, like maybe like with how the serial killer's power works, like because like so many people treat it just as kind of like normal, like all this weird shit, like these people keep on either disappearing, maybe it's not so much that they're like there's like this body horror shit happening, but they just disappear.
Yeah, we should probably talk about what we think the power should be. But
Well, maybe how about this? They start off disappearing, and then one day, they start their remains start appearing.
They find what's left, all stuffed into a tree in a clearing.
Into a knothole.
What is that movie? Sleepy Hollow.
Is that what happened in Sleepy Hollow?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was throwing all the heads of the people into a giant tree.
All right, but yeah. So what do you think about that though?
So they just start finding the parts of people.
Maybe like a bunch of people have disappeared. Maybe like upwards of 10 have disappeared, but people are just like, they probably just went off into the mountains and then got lost or whatever.
Or this is one of those rural towns where everything's going to shit, so people are just like moving towards the city because the town is dying.
Yeah,
and then
that's like the excuse that's always been given.
Right, because this has actually secretly been happening way longer, and they're just used to it.
Exactly.
But what the main character puts together is that when this happens, and after a certain amount of time of people disappearing and apparently dying and stuff, in most foul ways, the town gets revitalized for a while. Ooh. Like there's some kind of
there's like a resurgence.
Like a resurgence, or a thing that I really like in Japanese fiction and folklore is the idea that like there's local gods.
Yeah.
Like there's the god of your mountain or your town.
Yeah.
And that god needs sacrifices every so often to keep the town running. Like that's what brings prosperity. And it's not so much that people are accepting what's happening, but they're aware of it and they're just like, look, man, the whole town is gone if we don't let it happen.
I really dig that. And it's like, that's kind of like a rite of passage sort of thing. Like, you don't find out about this until you're like 20 years old.
Oh, yeah.
So like all the adults know about it, but the kids are just like, what the hell's going on?
Right, but now that we're in the modern age, once the news of what happened gets out, they have to tell the big city police, and the police have to come.
Yeah.
And the police are also like, this is weird. So
why do we have like looking over your town's like history? There's been like hundreds of people that just suddenly disappeared.
And their answer is basically just like, it was probably a bear.
Yeah, that's like, they were supposed to have gone out into like a nature walk and then just never came back.
Right. I really like where this is going.
I do too. I say like it started off a little weak, but we're going
So are we going to team up the surviving cop, because one of the cops has to die, with the kid, or is it just two separate character stories that combine at the end, where the cop has been doing the research and the kid's been doing the footwork?
I think we're kind of abandoning the everyday life of this a little bit.
Oh, well, I mean, we have to do like the everyday life stuff too, obviously.
Like what? What everyday stuff would we do?
Like the kid goes to school and the school is talking about stuff, and the kid's like, hey, does no one want to talk about this thing that's going on? And the teachers are like, oh, they just went
yeah,
somewhere.
the teachers always downplay it.
The teachers downplay it. We could also have like a teacher that's not from here that's like, I also thought that was weird. And that's what puts the cop on the trail.
And then like maybe like the next day, like that teacher doesn't show up to work.
Oh, I think the teacher has to say something more than once before they're like...
Yeah, maybe like they agree with the student, like with like one of the times the first time they bring it up, and then maybe like a week or so later, like
starts asking
like
questions.
Like the student, while they're in like the next day at school, they see like the principal talking to them, and like while they're walking by like, the principal's office or something.
Like one of those things where you could see them across the quad under the other like canopied walkway. They're having a very heated conversation.
Yeah.
But no students are around, so you don't get to hear what they're saying.
Exactly.
But you can tell they're saying it loudly.
Dude, like seriously, from my mind to your mouth.
It's almost like I've watched a lot of horror and anime.
It's weird.
Weird.
But yes, I think it's like something like that. Then maybe like and that's kind of is like the trigger for like that teacher getting a little more heated about it every time it comes up, and then it gets to the point where like it's like, all right, well this dude's gotta fucking go.
This dude's gotta go. They find half of him hanging from a electrical line. Ooh. Okay, so we should get to what we think the power should be.
Okay.
I had an immediate thought, but I want to hear yours first.
I don't really have one. Like I kind of like the idea of them just like
disappearing and then you find parts of them later.
Yeah, that was kind of my thing.
Okay, so my immediate thought when we were talking about it was like, what if we were going with like the mountain god thing, what if it's like, do you know what a Karasu Tengu is?
Yeah.
The hawk Tengus?
Yeah.
That are supposed to protect children, but they're like giant bird people.
Yeah.
What if they were just picking people up and carrying them off into the mountains and ripping them apart?
Ooh.
Plus, you also get this sick bird monster by the end where it's just like,
I kind of like that.
It's just Swain from League of Legends.
So in what was it by like maybe like episode 5, like main character and childhood friend like go into the mountains because they like one of the people that just most recently disappeared was last seen going into the mountains, and before they just never came back.
Oh, what if they were going into the mountains specifically to pray to the shrine?
Well, do they find out about the
well, like
they overhear? Like,
well, you could like hint at stuff like really specifically the whole time. Like if we wanted to do the bird thing, we could have there be birds at all the crime scenes, but the birds aren't touching the bodies at all. They're just watching.
I like that, but also maybe it's like the town every year has like a really big festival that like everyone gets like
this is in the bird town,
the shrine clothing, and they go up there and they make it's a very like serious like.
There's a guy with a feather fan and he's got the mask on. Even that's not the same kind of Tengu.
Exactly.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, and then eventually they're like, you know what? Let's go to the shrine, and
they're
like,
all doing it all the time, but they don't know why they've been doing it.
Yeah. And so they go up there to be like, let's ask for guidance from whatever. And then that's when maybe they see someone like...
Right, there's like a shadowy figure behind the thing and they go to chase it. They don't find it, but there's a big fucking feather on the ground. They're like, what the fuck is this?
Next to like an arm, severed arm.
Yeah, next to a severed arm. No blood nearby, so the arm wasn't here originally. It just the arm came home to this spot.
I like that.
I like this story a lot. I think we may have hit our stride on the third one.
I think we're just starting to figure this thing out.
Just agree with what Eric's saying. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Hey, I had a couple ideas here there.
I was being a shit.
I know.
So how do we stop a feral god? I guess I have some thoughts, but the first one was burning down the shrine.
So that was the ending of another.
or you could.
You just do a lot of salt.
I'd say, or you could get some Shinto guy to purify it.
Yeah.
Or the kid tries to do it himself.
Well, what was it? The kid, because it's a kid like doing it, it's gonna end up being clumsy, right. And especially if he's like kind of like teaming up with like a big city cop. Like it's like maybe like the part where like one of the cops.
Well, the cops like this is stupid, but I literally don't have any better explanation right now than
exactly.
this.
So
So whatever, it doesn't cost me nothing but time to go drop salt here.
yeah, so they're like kind of working together, but like and like he's just kind of like rolling with it, just because he's like this kid is like really fucking weird, but he might be onto something because I have no other leads right now anyway. So what have I got to lose?
Right.
And like maybe that cop's partner was one of the victims as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The older cop who believed that like there's
Yeah.
more stuff in the world
The
than we know
seasoned cop
is the one who dies partway through the series when they get close to an answer to part of the question.
Yeah, and then like the rookie cop was like, "Well, I heard the last thing he was investigating was blank."
And the rookie cop's a hot lady.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
I mean, I could
Sorry,
be.
I was just being cynical. You can't see my face when I said that,
Yeah.
but trust me, it was real cynical.
Anyways, so what happens?
I turned into Daffy Duck.
So what happens to the childhood friend?
Well, so like when they die,
Yeah, what's their Gainax ending?
do we want it to be like they're running through like the town or whatever, just like being kids, tomfooling?
What if every solstice or whatever, like the adults, they have a big to do for it, and guess
The
who
adults,
get and
the
guess
adults
who,
squatch the kid to the shrine.
exactly like that, and guess who gets picked to be this solstice's sacrifice?
Oh well,
And
it's
so
the
it's like she's like dragged through like the mountain path.
So he finds
that's
the shoe is what happens.
That's lined with like all the shopkeepers that she knows, all the friends' parents that she's
and
seen
there's like
every day.
There's like Tories,
Yeah,
but like they're not normal Tories. They're not like the red ones. Like we make them like a little weird looking.
yeah.
like,
For
like they're
those
like,
of you at home, like the little like
Like
wooden
the-
gate things that look like two
Yeah.
posts with
Yeah,
with one going
Tories.
across the top.
Yeah, Tories.
I know, but for
But-
people at home that don't know what a
What I
Tory
was
is,
gonna say is like even the Tories at this point are corrupted because like the god is becoming corrupted over time. Like the wood is rotting, and they just keep painting over it, but it doesn't take.
so
like
it's like red, but with like maybe black splotches like coming through.
like the paint is being peeled off rapidly by like mold. Not saying that this is similar to Pet Cemetery, but in like a let me say the sentence. But like the ground itself is rotten at this point.
No, Eric.
And they're having to kill more people each time because it's not working anymore. Like they have to do something else and they haven't figured it out yet. But they're like, this is all we know that does work. And I think it would be really cool is if when him and the cop go up to the shrine or whatever, they find the shoe of the girl and it's just like. And it could be her arm. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I'd say
And
maybe she has like
got a
maybe she has
friendship
like
band.
God damn it! You beat me to it by a second. But yeah, it's like got like
Because you
a,
had to say it with your hands first.
yeah, it's like she's got like a little bracelet or something that like
Or
he
she's got
made,
something clutched in her
that-
fist.
that he made for her when they were like in elementary school that she
Right.
always kept as an heirloom.
Right. He's really embarrassed about it now, but he's just like, and then he's like, Nani?
Mew.
Massacre. Bakada. Impossible.
That's impossible.
So do we want to talk about how we would end this story? Again, we're the everyday life stuff has to be the kid at school, the cops on the case.
Yeah.
Like that's their everyday.
Okay.
And like we have to
less Nichijou, more like actual, just like you just see
More
the
high school
everyday,
boys.
more high school boys.
no.
I say it's not.
That's not more realistic.
No,
than
it's
Nichijou.
not.
But like it has to be everyday life that's normal, but it's not normal at the same time.
Yeah.
But the stuff that's not normal is happening
So
just out of focus, where the cops aren't noticing it, but the viewer sees some of it.
Okay.
Like the viewer has to see the weird stuff happening before the
main
characters
character
do.
does. Yeah.
the
Like that's
cast.
definitely happening. Like a frame adjacent or like in the background or whatever. Mm-hmm. I really like this.
I'm pretty happy with this one so far. I'm not saying I'm excited to get over there and make the one thing we're gonna make for it visually, but I think we could do some stuff with this one.
Yeah. All right. So
So how does it? Do we want to talk about how it ends?
okay. let's end it.
Again, I think we're assuming 12 episodes
I think so.
or a movie.
I think something like this.
I think we should assume 12 episodes.
I think so
unless
too.
told
I
otherwise
would say
most
yeah,
of the time.
exactly. Like 12 episodes is like for most stories like this, it's so compact that you can just fit most things into it.
A real intimate experience.
But anyways, ending. They find out that the adults are just like at wit's end. Like and like the mayor, who's like the kind of the lead
So
of the cult,
the
is just
story
like
is-
we're sacrificing all your kids.
The story is whipping itself up to a real Wicker Man ending.
Oh yeah, I say we're getting the bees out for this one. So
We said no bees.
son of a bitch.
I tricked you.
Anyways, so maybe we get like a scene of like all these kids getting dragged up to the shrine, getting ready to be sacrificed.
Just
And,
tying
like,
them all to poles, putting them in the front of the shrine.
exactly, just in like, and they're all dressed in like white clothing.
All the attacks have to happen as the sun's going down, so that we can have some cinematic as fuck moments of the sun's getting low, but it's not down.
Yeah.
But all the crows and ravens are starting to gather in the sky around the shrine
I can
because
just-
they're gonna swirl together into a vortex, and it's gonna land down as a giant crow monster, and it's just
Yeah.
like, bah! I'm
love-
swayed.
I love this. I can literally everything you're saying. I can see.
Yeah, wait till I actually make it so you can see it. It's a shame that we have such similar sensibilities for what could be a good thing. We know what we both think is bad off the bat, so we can just skip that step.
I mean, at least that kind of like makes it so it's less arguing and more productive.
No, I'm not saying like there's just a different way of thinking about it when like you and I know exactly what not to say.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even going to give an example. But you and I know what not to say, but when we have a guest here, that energy is the wild card that makes it like something that lets us make something that we're like, but what if the aliens were bees?
Or maybe Mark Twain's actually a pigeon.
I believe it was Tesla, but that's not important right now.
Oh God, I can't even remember.
God, what if the villain of this is actually Tesla?
It's a crossover.
Yeah, it's a crossover.
I say lo and behold, like
Look, we're making the Maybe-verse
Animaybe
here.
Studios are all shared universe.
Yeah, it's just like Ghibli.
Anyways. So they're all. So we have all we have it at sundown. All the birds are swirling around. They're gathering. Maybe
The kid.
what was his name? Sato.
Sato.
Got caught wind of like some like big stuff was going down like that night, and instead it didn't go home because he knew like all the adults were in on this. So he's just like on the mountain path with like the cop, and they're just spying and just like watching all this horrific stuff going down.
Right.
Just like these kids, all of his classmates and friends just getting dragged up this path, and like to their doom, and.
Well, it's got to be all the kids of a certain age, right? They can't kill all the kids the town has done anyway.
You're true.
It's got to be
Okay,
like
so
all the kids from
maybe
a certain grade.
Yeah, maybe like all like
Or like
the 8th graders,
like it
7th
would be-
and 8th graders.
Like the original plan would be like they would need this many from this grade, so like 9 ninth graders or 8 8th graders.
but like
something-
because it's
would be
getting,
6,
It's
let's be
because
real.
because it's escalating so much.
it would normally be 6, but now it's keep getting worse. They have to keep doing more, and they're just like, we just keep killing children. It's not fixing the problem.
Yeah. So they just.
That's political. No, it's not.
Anyways,
So the cop opens fire on the crow monster.
okay, and I don't think it does anything.
I think you would notice it.
Yeah, it would notice it. It scared the hell out of me. I'm just so spooked because of the story we're talking about.
So I think there's got to be something in the shrine, right? Like not even like it's not burning the shrine down. It's that there's something in the shrine that's causing the corruption,
Okay.
and that has to be destroyed.
Yeah. Like there's like the remains of like there's like a mummified like hand or like claw or something. God, I'm just thinking it's just turning into Bakemonogatari for like the monkey arc.
What if it was like
Like a monkey's paw.
an Inugami that wasn't finished yet? Just because that's like the only like curse-based thing I could think of.
Like what do you mean?
You know what an Inugami is, right?
A dog god?
No.
I'm just translating those two words.
it's what. So when Eric took a college class about Japanese culture and folklore, my teacher talked about this thing called inugami, and when I start to describe it, you'll know what it is. Well, you, DJ, personally, the viewer might. It's like this supernatural curse you could do, where you take a dog and you basically torture a dog, then you kill the dog and bury its head somewhere.
Ooh.
And you write like a name down on a scroll and you put it in the dog's mouth, and then it becomes like a homing missile curse that chases after stuff. But if there was something like that wasn't finished, that was just sitting in the shrine for years rotting, and it was corrupting the Tengu.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I don't think it would necessarily need to be an inugami. Like,
Yeah.
if we could
It's a bird's head.
we could fudge our own with a bird, but like just an example of something where like someone was trying to do something to ask the god for help, but they did it wrong.
Yeah.
Just like how the kid tries to fix it, but he does it wrong.
I like that. I think that's okay.
Just as a way to explain it, where it's like, the gods must be crazy. So they just take it and throw it in the water in front of the shrine.
And
The little purifying thing.
I would say the water, the font.
Or would they have to burn it? I don't know.
They probably have to burn it. Everything, like fire purifies everything. Blah 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 blah.
I mean, they're not 100% wrong.
I know.
So you do that, right?
But like, how does he find it? Like, where is it stored? Is it just in like the little shrine thing that's like inside of like
well, there's
the main?
got to be like a cultist throwdown at that point, where like the cop is grappling with this giant bird monster, and the bird puts him right through a
and
wall.
and what was it? The adults are definitely getting involved too, and like basically tearing at this cop, just
are they, or are they just on the ground like in cloaks, like just bowed, like we want no part of this. We're not happy about this either, but we have to do this or the town dies. But they're like, don't get in the way of what the god's going to do. So like the god puts the cop through the wooden like
and that's
walls,
when you see
and
it.
That's when just a whole mass of flies comes out. Like there's just years worth of rot in the supernatural form just pours out of this forest shrine, and there's just like a desiccated crow like wrapped in like those like spirit cords.
And the wrappers.
I don't know. It's probably got a
wrappings.
nail through it or something.
Yeah.
Like a nail right through the beak.
This is
Visually.
I say I could see every single thing like.
And the kid's like, well, let's deal with that. So then the kid goes after it. Obviously, the corrupted monster sees him do it. It's like, you. So it's, then it becomes like a running through.
Running through the forest, trying to escape, trying to find figure out to destroy the thing.
The cops behind him shooting at the bird, trying to slow it down. Like, eventually he has to do enough damage that it can't fly. Yeah, that's the only way they have a chance. They have to break one of the wings enough that it has to chase them on foot.
Yeah, like maybe like after breaking one of the wings, the Tengu like gets so like just like enraged that it knocks the cop out. So cop's out of the fight, and then that's when they notice like Sato's running down the mountain path or whatever with like the crow, and just starts chasing after him,
right?
Like trying to fly, but not successfully doing it.
Like it can't fly, so it's in like sort of like a werewolf, like part humanoid form, where it's like trying to like sort of like limping after him.
It's limping, but like still like trying to get some air by flapping that one wing as hard as it can.
Just keeps hitting trees on its way up. And it's knocking the branches down, scaring the shit out of the kid.
Yeah.
And eventually he's got to like throw the thing in a lake or in if we assume that he works at a bakery.
I knew this was coming back.
We have to like.
He throws in the fucking microwave.
He's got to put. Well, I was going to say the oven, but like, he's got to. They have to have. He has to have fire. He has to have some reason to need to get away to burn it. So he's like, well, the oven's for sure on.
Well, because and because they would have like an actual wood fired oven.
Right.
Oh, all right. Now
I think we made a whole story.
I think.
Now here's the only question: what happens at the end when the cop wakes up? They're like, well, okay, now obviously we can't arrest the forest god, but you all were about to straight up murk kids.
I mean, I think it's just kind of like one of those things where it's just like, where like the ending isn't entirely satisfying.
Well,
it's just like, like the parents just got a lot of splaining to do.
Well, I kind of like the ending of like So he throws the crow curse into the fire, and the god bursts into flames and is immediately reborn as like a normal version of a Tengu, and it's like, sick job, bro. It just goes up into the air and it's gone.
Or without saying anything, like it just like it's like about to, it's like it like bursts through the door and is about to like jump on him, but then it bursts into flames, then.
Like it's got like a big crow, like a bird claw hand. It's reaching in, and then the flames. And it's just like a regular hand all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And it's just like looks down at its hand, and it looks at him. It just like
Then
just
it
like
does the fire spread.
it does
to
like the
rest of its
nod
body.
from the end of Jurassic World with the T-Rex and the raptor. It's like, yeah, all right, and it leaves. And like you could do like an ending scroll of like in the end of it, the town of course was done after that because everyone went to jail, and the kids are like, well, that was awful, but it's like so the mountain was saved, but the town was not. It's like a super like a bittersweet type of thing.
Or it turns out twist the main character also has a Gainax ending, and all the adults appear and just say congratulations.
Congratulations! 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 Congratulations!
You did it.
And to everyone out there, congratulations.
So you like that ending? You want to do that?
I think I like it. I like it.
We have an entire cohesive story. We probably should have said spoilers for the thing that you're finding out about in real time.
Oh, I think that this is an amazing idea, and I cannot believe that
The proof of idea was episode 0. The proof of concept was episode 2, and the actual thing working might be episode 3. And again, we're gonna cut most of this part out too now. But I think we did it.
I think we did it too. I would watch the
We
hell
need a
out
name.
of this. Huh?
We need a name.
Where's bag 3? Hat 3? Whatever.
I almost feel like we don't need to do it.
Come on, let's
Well,
let's
no,
do
because
it.
I'm terrified that now if we're gonna do bag 3 and we pull one of the isekai cards out of here, it'll be a really bad time. We could ruin
If
it.
it's isekai, then we can't do it because this isn't an isekai.
Oh, it's fucking nailed it. 2 words. 2-word title.
All right.
We drew the 2-word card.
Bird flu.
Is it flu spelled FLEW? But bird with a U?
Fuck it. Why not?
No, it's got to be something different. Like, I really like if we're doing a bird theme, we use the word roost.
Okay.
Roger's Roost.
Shout outs to Roger's Roost.
The best. I don't know, like, I feel like if we took, like, town name, Roost, but that also sort of telegraphs that it's going to be bird related.
I mean, that's okay.
We could do that. We could also just have the character's actual name in the final version be, like, some sort of bird adjacent.
Yeah.
We don't have to do roost at all. It's a word that immediately, like...
I mean, his name is, what was it, Tori? Or no, not Tori. Yeah, Tori's bird.
Yeah,
Like Tori Niku is chicken.
Tori with one eye is bird, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, with one eye is bird.
It would be like his last name would have to be like Torigami or something, or Torigane.
I think we can do that.
Sato Torigane.
Yeah.
We have a named character now.
We have a full name.
God, what's his family seal?
So maybe
The zodiac sign for the
What
rooster.
about Tori's Roost?
No, I'm like, could we just call it Tori no Tori?
The bird of Tori.
Well, well, we have those Tories that are being corrupted.
Oh.
But the name doesn't make any sense until you get partway through the story. But that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I say,
But
yeah.
you know what
I mean,
a Tory is, and you
hell,
probably
like most names don't make any fucking sense.
That's right. Have you ever heard of Konosuba?
I mean, that's just the abbreviation, like the full name of that show.
I know. I'm okay with Tori no Tori. Do you have any other suggestions? Because I feel like in a lot of these recordings, I do a lot of the driving, and I stop after the fact. Like, did you guys want to go to a different restaurant instead? Once we're already there.
I kind of want to do a different one. Like, that's okay, but I like the idea of doing like maybe like Tori or Roost or something. I mean,
I like using Tori more than I like using Roost.
okay, Tori.
Oh, we could call it like migratory birds. Because the people are disappearing. It was never going to be a perfect episode. We were going to trip over our balls somewhere, and it just happened to be at the 50-minute mark.
Here's our fucking oranges.
Orange bird.
No!
The bee of the bird of the moth.
Not missing birds, no. Lost birds.
My bird. We could add more fucking gust to it to try to make it. Like, we could just be, like, missing birds or mountain birds or... I don't want to say songbirds.
I think missing birds is okay because it implies like a little bit of mystery into it.
Right, there's the mystery. What's more everyday life
Plus,
than
like,
birds?
maybe like the opening shots, like you just see like there's like lots of birds. Like the first evening that we see in the show is like you see a lot of birds just like migrating through the sky.
Like, just like a bunch of starlings.
Yeah. And you just hear, or like crows, and you just hear that because like while they're all flying in their, you just hear that
I'm on board with this. I think we call it.
All right,
I think we may have definitively had an Anna yes.
Anna, yes.
No, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Animaybe. That's what this show was. I think we did it. Stay tuned next time. We will do it again. Probably not as good.
Yeah, I say here's fucking hoping. I would say thank you again for staying with us, and we will see you next time. Mm-hmm. Animaybe over and out.